Councillor Van Turnhout.
I too, on behalf of the independent group of senators, would very much like to pay tribute and to thank Jimmy Walsh. I don't have the longitude of memory of being here in the House. I'll only be here 2 years in May, but I did read Jimmy Walsh's accounts for many years before I came in here. But I had the opportunity to meet the legend when I first came to the House. And the thing I can say to you is to thank Jimmy most sincerely for his advice and his insights that he gave to me personally in the corridors. Certainly his journalistic skills are very apparent. He's able to get to the heart of an issue and understand what we're driving at. And I think he has given me personally great encouragement in my work as a senator, and encouraged me sometimes maybe to go a bit harder on issues. Maybe I go for consensus a little bit too much, but we leave that for another conversation. But Jimmy, even in this relatively short time that I know him, I really do feel I have made a real friend, somebody that can give you critical advice, but also in his articles in the papers really explain what is happening here in the House. And I would like to just echo the tributes to Jimmy, even the short time that I know you. On the issue of early childhood education and care, quite simply, and Senator Batchik has said it, we need to decouple the issue. Early childhood education and care is about the child. It is not about the status of a parent, whether they're working or not working. We need to decouple this issue, and we need to have separate discussions. But the issue I'd like to raise today is on the issue of direct provision. Last Saturday, there was an excellent article in the Irish Times by Breda O'Brien, which was entitled "Inhumane Asylum Seeker System Needs Radical Reform." And today, again in the Irish Times, in the letters page, is a must-read for all of us. It is a marvellously accurate account of the harrowing system of direct provision that is offered in this country, and it's by Dr. Joan Gillard, who is a doctor who has worked in direct provision accommodation since 2007. So it's not hearsay. Here's somebody who's worked in it. I've raised this issue several times in the Seanad, mainly through matters of adjournment. Because of this, I've taken it upon myself, and I was joined by my colleague Senator Fiat McAneill and Senators Catherine Spone to visit the direct provision accommodation in Hatch Hall and the mobile home site, where we have 100 mobile home sites in Athlone, really at the back of the Department of Education in Athlone. And also I want to mention about the committed work by the all-party and no-party group in the Seanad of senators on this issue. So this isn't an issue that's about party politics. So I'm going to call on the leader to have a debate in the Seanad on the system of direct provision. And in particular, I would like to address the appropriateness of direct provision system for the welfare and development of the 1,725 children who are in a system of direct provision, not for 1 month, not for 2 months, but for several years. So if we want to talk about institutionalising people, we are doing it. And I also want to call on the establishment of an independent complaints mechanism and an independent inspection system of direct provision centres. This has been called for by the Government Special Rapporteur on Child Protection a year ago. We need to put this in place. So I call on the leader, let's have a debate on direct provision, and let's all of us really face this issue. It can no longer be tolerated. Or do we wait for 20 years for the next Ryan report on direct provision?